All right, requests here. I'm going to start off with Zim. So Zim made that low. They had a bunch of stuff going on when Israel and Palestinian conflict started, and everyone had a lot of doubt. Came all the way down here to $6 or $7. Finally took off here in early 2024 and has been running ever since. So what happened today? It hit the 1.61 fib. Exactly. Based on what I see from parallel lines, I think this is a ABC move. You can see here, it respects the parallel lines, and it also just hit the 1.61 fib. So what does that mean? It means it's likely to retrace here. Where would be the first spot that it would retrace to? You have gaps down here at, well, let's just see. For a pullback, I would probably be looking at the 0.5 fib. That's all the way back down here at $13. I'll go ahead and highlight that. But short term, you have a lot of support around $19 with the 20 and the 50-day moving averages. So my first target on Zim for a pullback is going to be somewhere in this area, 1951 to 2035 would be my target. Okay, so that's an area. It's actually a weekly, on the weekly too. So actually I can make this bigger. Let's do the weekly. Anywhere in this target range is where I'm looking at. So 2048 to 1785 on a pullback. So would I sell here? I would probably sell something if you've had this the whole time and look for a pullback. Could this be a third wave? I would say it could be, but not likely. We'll see on the pullback. If it's a very shallow pullback and goes higher, then obviously it's a third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. So if it goes like this, then obviously that's a 5-wave move. If it goes like this, then obviously we're looking at ABC. Is it possible that that's it and it's going to come down? I would say unlikely. I don't know anything much about the company. I haven't been following it. You have a lot of gaps down here, but I would say that the 0.5 fib is possible. You do have gaps down here, but first of all, just focus on this area right here. That's your first target. See if you get an impulse down. Is it a corrective move down? There's a lot that goes into this. So it made a new bottom. So we're making a completely new wave here. So there isn't very much context to really tell you like where this is going to retrace to. I can only go off of these waves right here. So it looks to me like this ABC move is likely finished. This is your likely pullback area right here, 18 to $20. What was the other one? There's a few other requests. And this one right here, I looked at it a little bit. And let's just see. So clear 5-wave move on the monthly. This appears not to be a 5-wave move though. So I think that this right here, because see how this comes down and then it makes a new high. So this right here is ABC. So with that being said, this took 6 years and now you got to move down. I would probably expect some retracement here. You got a retracement here. Let's zoom in a little bit farther. So this is more than likely A. I guess it's hard to say exactly if this is going to retrace or not. Let me look at weekly and monthly. Honestly, this looks like a five-way move right here. So a little bit overextended on the weekly, obviously. It's ran pretty hard since September of 2023. And it's been about a year of running up here. I would more than likely look for a retracement down here. So this has ran from basically -2 standard deviations all the way to the very top, pulled back, and I think you're got to expect a pullback even lower here. You have some demand zones on the weekly. And you have one down here at 771. I'd be careful on this one. I think that it probably needs some more consolidation after this move from $2 to $16 over the last 6 years. So that's pretty decent move. Be careful here. It's probably not going to go above $16. But again, I don't know very much about the company. So, and another one that was requested, LMT. I think this is in a fifth wave, but on that fifth wave, I think it has a lot more to go. 1, 2, potentially like a lot more to go. Because you see here, you get a first wave, pullback, and then you get another first wave here. And it's in a third wave of a third wave. This can go much higher. This could go all the way up to, well, that might have been the end of the third wave right there. So maybe a short-term top, probably pullback, but I think it's going much higher. I think it's probably going up here to $700 and maybe even higher than that. So I think the chart looks good right now. And fourth wave ended right here. I would expect this to run. This is probably going to give me some kind of crazy number. Yeah, I can't use this. It's going to give me a crazy number. $2,000. There's no way. I would expect this to run probably to $700, $800, $900, because this looks only like the third wave of the third wave. So you're probably looking at $700 of the third wave, pullback, probably $800 or so. All right, let's go over Mara, and then Clean Spark, and then a few other stocks. So Mara is one of the ones I follow on the miners. I follow Clean Spark a little bit, but not that much. Whoops. So Mara has two different options. I'm leaning towards this one right here. I already have it drawn up. So I originally was thinking this could be the bottom, but you can see here, let me get rid of the moving averages. You can see here, we get this move down. And this is saying 1150. We only came down here to 1317. So a maximum of 937. The 1.61 fib of this right here is 1056, pullback 937. I think this is either going to be five-way move down. Could look like this. Or the bullish count would be that this was the bottom And then we got an ABC move, expanded flat, and we're going to move up here like that. But that one seems less likely because the overall market I'm expecting to fall. And you have this monthly long-term support. Don't forget though, after this plays out, I'm expecting that. If it goes down to 10 bucks, I'm expecting 50 bucks after that. So I think this is WX, and then this is A, B, C, like that. So not an impulse move, but I think it has more upside. CleanSpark. So if Mara drops another, what is that, like 20, 30%, I think you could see this down to 6 or 7 bucks, maybe down to this area right here. Let's see if there's any demand zones around that area. So you're already in a weekly demand zone right here. There's another one at 421. I'd be very surprised if it got all the way down to 421. Let's see if there's any daily ones. Daily one here at 485. So basically, if it breaks below 771, that's not going to be good. You do have a smaller one down here at 739 to 697. And I didn't notice this one right here. No, actually it's not. So there's another one right here. If it breaks below, I'd be looking for 739 all the way down to 693. So those are kind of the spots I'd be looking at. That seems about the right amount for it to go down if Mara continues to go down. But again, after this is finished, let's look at the difference in the charts. Or the timing of the charts, I mean. This topped in February 28th. February 28th right there. Where was the bottom of this? October 2023. So right here. So again, I think this is more than likely. No, this can't be. This is a little bit different than Mara, because Mara, you can see here, this goes to 60 bucks, but on CleanSpark, this doesn't even make it above this. So that changes things a little bit. Could this still be in a 5-wave move? It has not broken into this yet. That invalidates a 5-wave move. Let me show you. So I'm going to be watching that on CleanSpark. This, as long as it holds 759, this can still be like that. It's a different formation than Mara. Mara's in a WXY. This is potentially in a C wave up to 100 bucks. So I need to start looking into CleanSpark a little bit more. But in a good demand zone right here. Not as much WXY as Mara. Let's actually take the parallel lines and just take a look and see if this all makes sense. And it does. So, invalidation right here at 755. It came pretty close, came down to 8 bucks. This could potentially be but it would need the bottom right away. It can't come down into 755, so it would have to go like this. So that Mara count would mean Mara bottom too. It would have to go like this. Bitcoin as well, and then up here. I think it's going up there anyway. If it retraces here, then this is probably going to be some kind of ABC move up to $100. But you can see why I think that it's likely going up here to like 90 or $100. I know it seems kind of crazy, but not really. If Bitcoin goes to 100 to 150K, this should take off. There's a lot of other accounts that could happen as well, but that's my general thoughts on it. You're in demand right now. Buy some now, maybe buy some at 6. You're going to make money on it, pretty much. What else is there? BA. So BA finally hit that monthly demand zone that I've been talking about for like 6 months now. So that's a full-on buy for me. Look what happened when it hit it. 149 straight up to 154. So it can come down here to 147, but this is either going to be a wedge or a second wave. So I'm fully bullish on BA. I think it's one of the best stocks to get into right now. Don't even pay attention to the news. Straight up, just looking at the charts, it's ready to bounce. BABA could go to 117. There's a gap up there at 117. But I think it's probably a sell up there because I think it's going to retrace after that. And Rivian is in weekly demand. Still a good buy there, in my opinion. There is a gap here at 10:01, though. Be aware of that. I think that's correct. Well, I can't see it on the hourly or on the daily. Is there a gap there? Maybe there's not a gap there. There's no gap there. I don't know why that's there. Okay. Anyway, weekly demand is right here, down to 10.16. Again, I'm averaging into this. If it were to break below this, I'm not going to sell. I'm just going to average down here. So I think that this needs to retrace. Look at the daily. Look at the weekly. The weekly is not really that good, but the daily is saying retracement, and this is weekly demand. So keep on buying, should be good. Sim, I'm buying more in the low 23s. Nvidia, 3 options for Nvidia here. We have A, B, C, D, E down to 110, or we have ABC down to 98 and then up, or we have the worst one down to 78. That one doesn't make that much sense. I would say 98 makes a lot of sense and 110 makes more sense. So I'd probably lean to 98, but 110 would not surprise me either. You have a big demand zone here starting at 110. And then I think you're going up higher. You can see here on the daily, I think we're looking at an ABC move like this. So here, here, like that, or it's ABC, and then it goes up after that. So on Nvidia short-term time frame, I'm looking for a retracement though to like 121 to 125. And then after that, well, you know what? It could just come down here tomorrow. If we sell off, it's down after hours. This could be an extension of a first wave. If that happens, it's going to be even more bearish because that's going to make this a first wave down. We're going to retrace after that and then have a third wave later. So if it comes down to 110, then you're looking at 98 for a third wave. Bounce, potentially come down here to $80. So, but then again, it could also be that E wave. So we'll see what happens when it hits 110. 110 is my minimum target for this down move. I think that's it for this video. I did the indexes. I did Tesla. I did a few stocks. Basically, overall, I think that we're going to go down over the next month. October, they sold in the end of September and we immediately get the port strike, we head down the first day, we're down big the first day, why would they just take it right back up? They're going to put some pressure on people to sell, and then they can buy in lower and then take it up into the end of the year. So that's my thoughts on the overall market. Probably more downside throughout October.